Hey everybody, AcidRain64 here, and welcome back to another part of Let's Play Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. In the last part, we cleared out the first dungeon and got the Pendant of Courage, and now we're going to go ahead and collect some things. So according to the guide I'm using, I was supposed to wait until now to get the magic powder, but it really doesn't matter, because we didn't really need it, and we don't really need it right now actually. I think I mentioned in the third part when I got the mushroom that the only reason, or the only time you actually need the okay, I'm trying to think, sorry. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. The only time you actually need the magic powder is for a power-up for your magic later in the game. So that is the only reason why we will need the magic powder. Besides that, it's just a nice little thing to have. Sarasla told us to check out a cave in the northeast part of Lake Hylia because there is a nice little item in it. And we are going to do just that. Unfortunately, we can't swim in water yet, so we're going to have to take the long way around in order to get this item. But we can go ahead and try out our dashing ability and be able to cross screens faster. But in order to... we could go ahead and bomb this. I think this is just a fairy fountain. But it'll be nice to kind of just check it out. I mean, why not? Okay, let's see. Yeah, just a fairy fountain. Those are pretty nice to find, even though some of them are kind of out of place like that one is. But in order to get to these caves, without the ability to swim through the water, we have to go all the way around this way and cross through these screens and get hit by those zappy guys, take lots of damage. And avoid that explodey thing that explodes. And that thing reminds me of the one octopus thing you can latch onto in Super Metroid in Meridia. You know, I always think of that enemy when I see that. But yeah, we can come over here into this cave, and I think this is the cave we want. We can go ahead and bomb it. And I think there's actually there might be an Easter egg here, but I'm not sure. Like a special kind of bee we can get, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Okay, we could go ahead and use another fairy. And we'll go ahead and just get that one, refill our health. I think I might have, yeah, I went through the wrong cave, because we have to actually bomb in order to get through this one. And I just realized that I haven't been keeping track of time. I never started my stopwatch. Oh well, that's okay. I'll just assume that we've been going for 2 minutes and I'll stop it when it says 10 minutes. Anyways, first world problems, or recording problems, I should say. But yeah, this is an icy area, so what could we possibly get? The Ice Rod. Its chill magic blasts the air, but watch your magic meter. Yeah. This item I don't really think is required for anything. In fact, I only use it for one boss. Actually, it's the last boss before we face the final boss, I should say. It's the boss of the last dungeon in the Dark World is what we will use that Ice Rod on. And, of course, if we have an Ice Rod, there's going to be a Fire Rod. And I always feel like that's the only time I ever use those items. Which was probably intended, but... anyways. So now we're going to go ahead and basically get set up to go to the next dungeon. And hopefully, the next part... I can start the next part with the next dungeon. So and I'll probably keep saying this, but we're just flying through this first section of the game, which I don't have a problem with. I hope that this Let's Play will take roughly 20-something parts. If my original Let's Play of this game took, I believe, 35 parts. That's how many parts are in the playlist. And I'll probably actually link to that Let's Play in the description if you want to check out my original Let's Play of this. Just mind you that was 3 years ago, so it's not. I watched like half of the first part and I'm like, man, I think I've improved at least a little bit in my commentary and the quality of my videos. I could be wrong, but I'd like to just think that. But yeah, if you want to check that out, I'll link to it in the description, and you can check that out if you would like to. One thing I just noticed right now, as I was running with Link, his sword is like square, and I don't know how in the world. Like, I mean, when you hold down B, it kind of it's sharp, or when you swing as like to the side. But when you're just running or something like that, you can see it's a square. It's like a flat edge, and I don't know how in the world that works. But I'll assume that they did that for a reason. But I mean, it's not a big deal. But let's go ahead and check out this sign up here. This way, Desert of Mystery, and if we actually check our map, we can see that the next pendant is right over there in the desert. So that is why we are heading over here. And that book I picked up, the Book of Mudora, that's actually really important. And we'll see why that is in just a moment. But welcome to the desert. This is probably the only time you'll see the desert. Of course, once we go into the Dark World, there is a Dark World version of this, which is kind of bad, but it actually becomes a swamp, and it's, I think, the second to last Dark World dungeon. And hey, look, it's aha! It is the Book of Mudora. With it, you can read the language of the Hylia people. It's Sahara too. That's awesome. Or I don't know if that's meant to actually be Saralasla, but I think it's kind of cool that he's here. But in here we get ourselves a heart piece. I don't think that one is mentioned, but there is actually another heart piece we can get here too. Wow, I don't know why that heart piece is not mentioned in the guide. And I actually didn't know that was here. I just kind of stumbled upon it on accident. The guide does mention a heart piece, though. There's actually one we can get during the dungeon, and there is one right up here that we can get right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Or wait, no, wait. Maybe you can only get that one during the dungeon? Yeah, that's right, because you come out up there somewhere, and you cross over to get that to that area, and that's where you get the heart piece. Okay, so I did get it right. Alright, so this is what you need the Book of Mudora for, but first I'm going to go ahead and kill this eagle. It's bugging me. But if we use the Book of Mudora on this thing, which we can't read, this happens. To open the way to go forward, make your wish here, and it will be granted. And then the things move. The giant, what I assume are Octoroks. And now we can go ahead and enter the second dungeon. But I will do that in the next part. I'm sorry if this part is kind of short, but I want to keep things kind of sorted. Like, I'm just about to enter the second dungeon, so the next part will be the second dungeon. So, anyways, yeah, that's this part. So next time, we will go into the second dungeon and probably complete that in the next part. So if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe and whatever you feel like doing. I'm not going to force you to do anything or beg for it, but I will see you guys in the next part regardless.